we don't have to go like super far on this, but let's create like the view model and the screen composable so that we can then work on navigating to this screen. Um, so we'll do a new branch here. Um, let's call it add task navigation. That will be the main point here. Um, so before I can navigate to the screen, I need my screen composable. And if I want to create my screen composable, I want a view model. So let's do an add task view model. Um, this will have um, a use case. Um, an add task use case. This will extend Android X view model. And what do we have in here? Well, we have um, a private view state. Oh, I learned something new as well. So this will be a mutable state flow. Well, hold on. So this is a mutable state flow for an add task view state. And we'll do add task view state, whoops, dot initial. Um, now I learned something. The way I typically write this out is I'll do a public view state, which will be state flow of this type. Um, and this is how I convert from a mutable to an immutable state flow. But I learned that I can even use type inference by just doing view state dot to state flow. Wait, where I swear as state flow? I swear this existed. I watched my coworker did it as state flow. There we go. Um, so this will give me like that mutable to immutable conversion using some like, and now I get like the cool type inference. I don't know if it's really better. It's small, but showing it off, y'all know it exists now. Um, and that's I don't really want to go into implementing the nitty gritty here, but so I'm not gonna yet. We just want to have the view model created. Um, I really didn't even need to go that far, uh, but that allows me to now do an add task screen, which is actually a composable, which has a view model, which will be a hilt view model, and we can observe our view state. Oops. Why is this yelling at me? Oh, I made that private because I'm dumb. Um, and then from here, we'll do add task content. Um, view state that value. We'll do null lambda or empty lambdas for now on the changes. And then here we'll pass in. I'm actually going to take the same modifier that was in the preview. We're going to do fill max size, and then we'll give it padding. All right, at the end dot screen padding. So, and then let's so if I remember this right with the library, I just tag this with at destination. I don't need to plan anything special here. Um, oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure if I try to run this, that Hilt is going to yell at me because I haven't shown it how to, actually because of the view model, I haven't shown it how to provide a use case for this yet. So we're going to need to make one of those. We're going to have to go in here, and we're going to have our prod add task use case. This will have a task list repository. And then when we invoke on this, we are going to just return task list repository dot add task. I should probably call this task repository. I don't know why I called it task list repository. Ooh, my app is actually installing, which I did not expect. I expected this to fail. The app could still crash. Huh, why didn't it crash? Because this should have failed. Maybe it's because it's not used or something? Um, huh. But what I was gonna do is, okay, well, let's keep going. This will definitely yell at me eventually. Oh, probably because, yeah, okay, you both said it right as I realized it. I need Hilt view model. Um, yeah, I would have expected it to fail too because of the at inject constructor, but it didn't. Um, but now that we made our test one, we can go into use case module. We can do binds, abstract fun, bind, add task use case. Will be prod add task use case. We did that. Let's go to our main activity real quick. And oops, sorry. And where are we going? Oh, right. So forgot how this works. So we don't actually define anything on our activity. It knows what to create because our login screen has on it this start destination. And then it consumes a navigator, which we use to route from screen to screen. So we actually need this same parameter on our task list screen. We're going to add that. And then, actually right here, we already have it. And on add button clicked, we can say navigator.navigate, and this should be add task screen destination. Let's try it out. And this will take us to a full screen add task implementation. That won't do anything yet, but we'll be able to navigate to it. Here's hoping. Oops. Oh, right. Prod ask task use case needs at inject as well. Oops, whatever. Also, this will probably like sign me out. Maybe I'll work on some way to like keep myself logged thing. Um, that's probably because I did some apply changes and not rerun. Yeah, I'll have to clean this out. Okay, so here is this, and then if we add, okay, I don't know if you can see that on the on your side, but this is an issue with like this is the issue with like not using a surface It's using like the default text colors, um, which are black, so it combines with this black screen. We said we weren't going to make the content require the surface, so we could put the surface here. And I did want to say that the color for this, I was going to make background. Um, and I'd have to look at our color scheme and figure out what the difference is between surface and background. Actually, that should be in here somewhere. Um, where are they at? Oh, actually, okay, so surface and background are the same. So if surface and background are the same, I don't need this color parameter at all. Um, which I guess makes sense. But I think typically they're not always exactly the same. But we'll have to click through again. It's fine. This can be maybe a plan for next time. And maybe I'll remove that delay or whatever. Okay, that still didn't work out. I'm still not seeing, huh. This is material 3 surface. The color is color scheme.surface. Is there something cached weird there? Why doesn't... So if we look at, sorry, let me show y'all what I'm doing. I'm not talking coherently. Um, I need to make it faster for me to navigate to this screen. So when I launch my add task screen, I think on the preview it looks okay, but this text color is not white. Or it's not like, yeah, on surface should be like this neutral 80 or whatever. Um, and I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing like black text. So I need to figure out why. I have a hunch. Um, this is probably going to be an ongoing issue for us from time to time. Until material 3 reaches a more stable destination. But if we look at like task list content here, ooh, nope, okay. So we are using, oh wait, nope, I want add task content. Okay, so we are using the material 3 text. And we can actually see in this preview um, that the text color shows up right. Huh, this is interesting. So the text color is correct in our preview, but it's not correct in practice. Why not? Um, let me make sure that there wasn't a caching issue. Maybe I need to do like a clean build. What the heck? My preview has a surface, yes. Oh, am I using... Okay, and I'm using a material 3 surface here as well. Is the preview using a material 3 surface? Yes. Interesting, very interesting. Let's do a rebuild and see what happens. See if the text is black in the preview without the surface. Yeah, we could test that. I'm gonna do a rebuild first because this wasn't always here, and I can't help but feel like maybe there was some weird caching issue um, that is trying to render this without um, the surface, which is entirely possible. So that's going to take a second, but while it's running, I'm going to look up something that we're going to need. Oop, why do we wait? Oh, no, that's fine. We'll deal with that later. Um, I want to see if anyone has made a date picker in Compose yet. Um, there's a blog post on this because it's probably not there yet. This is from August 8th. Okay. Hope this is not. Oh, there we go. Ah, okay. So this is what I was thinking would happen is they basically use like a material date picker dialogue, um, and then show that, uh, which we can do. Okay. I just wanted to get the rough idea um, of how we would add a date picker when the time comes. Hmm. What in the world is going on? Okay, so let's try that hunch. What would happen if we removed the surface from our preview? Um, and because the surface is being defined here, I doubt that it's an issue with the navigation library. Um, I'm sure Raphael is sweating, hoping it's not his fault, which I don't think it is. Um, no, okay, so this does revert back in the preview without the surface. Oh my god, wait, I know what it is. But how did that. Hold on. Wait, no, I don't know what it is. I lied. I had a hunch, but that hunch didn't make sense after I said it. Um, what I was worried about was this, thinking that this wasn't being applied. But this should be, because this is in the root of our main activity. And every screen leading up to it has the theme. And this is definitely my button, right? So, like, do I need to turn off dynamic theming? Could it be an issue with dynamic theming? The plot thickens. What if we tried it without dynamic theming, just to rule that out? Um, okay, no. What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna try something crazy here. We're going to. Oh, oh my god. Read the name of the file that I'm in. I'm not in the right file. We want to be in add tasks. Whoops. We want to be in add tasks screen. I want the surface to go here. Yep, I have definitely done this sort of thing before. Oh my god, I'm so. Look at that. It's beautiful. Um, Almost. I don't like this spacing at the top here. So what we're also going to do is, in addition to screen padding, we're going to do status bars padding. And then run this, which is an accompanist modifier that should push everything down so the screen padding starts below that status bar. Look at that. That's really nice. Right, I can't fill anything. The logo is slick. Yeah, that was a ton of fun to make. Um, okay. So the issue was not dynamic theming, so we can change that back. Um, Also, this blue is very similar to my app's blue, or my phone's blue background, so it was hardly noticeable that this switched. Um, yeah, we could add this. Supporting navigating to add task screen. Nice. Ah, I'm out of water. I'm gonna have to go refill that soon. Um, okay. So I think what we could move on to real quick is, um, well, we could make this screen. Do you have a surface in the main activity? You can avoid using surface on every screen, but I might be wrong. I do. Um, I had wondered if there's another way. Um, can I quickly explain what was the issue with the composable in the wrong file just now? Sure. So the issue was what you're looking at here. The colors were not being applied correctly, right? We weren't seeing this color of this text. It's called on surface. So if this composable is wrapped on a surface, then the text color should be on surface. Hopefully you follow me so far. But that wasn't working. Um, Even though I was wrapping this composable on a surface. But the secret is that I was not actually doing that. You see here, this is our task. See, I almost did it again. This is our add task screen, where we have a surface around the add task content. And what I did is I put a surface in here on the wrong composable. So the add task screen was never getting a surface applied to it in the first place because I was putting code in the wrong spot. Yeah, yeah. Hope that makes sense. At least you understand my mistake just now. Um, but CP has a good point. I'm like, if I want this for every screen, um, can I just do this in the activity? And I mean, the answer to that is yes. Um, there's, well, huh. Okay, so the short answer to that is yes. Um, let's talk about this for a little bit. So the short answer to that is yes, right? What I could have done, actually, let's do this for testing's sake. Just to show it off, I'm gonna remove all of the surfaces in the app, um, and see if we can run through the app without it and show it off. I think actually these are all in previews. Um, login content had a surface, so we're gonna remove it from login content. Um, and then what's our other one? Task list screen. Now that one's a little different. Um, and we'll talk about why in a sec. So let's run this, and we'll even see it on, actually, I don't even know if we'll notice it right away on the login screen. Um, because the login screen doesn't have any labels, I don't think. Oh, actually, okay, so we can see it. The text, the input label is not styled accordingly. Um, so we can see that's wrong here. Um, if we log in, so this screen actually works, sort of by design. We'll talk about that. And then this screen does not. So could I fix it by basically wrapping this in a surface? Yes. Um, this will indeed like fix the problem. Um, and then as I add future destinations, they'll automatically get like the surface background. There's a question about like, there is a question here on whether or not, yeah, and see this looks correct now. Whether or not this is like a good solution. And another solution you might see is something called a scaffold. And you'll see this in the compose docs. You can have a scaffold that is usually like your root composable. Let's look it up in the docs real quick. Um, because I think this is cool. So like the scaffold, it has like everything. So your scaffold has the content you want to show on the screen. It also lets you specify the top bar and the floating action button. And actually, the reason I'm like skirting around this is because this is what we did for the task list content. This uses a scaffold. Um, and a scaffold has the content inside of it. It has a floating action bar and a top bar, right? And then a scaffold has a container color already that is like your background color. So it would make sense actually for like my root composable to be a scaffold. Um, but then like on one hand, like I don't know if I actually want that because um, oh, it uses the surface under the hood, yeah. Um, interesting. I never realized that either. But it just does a cool layout for like the fan and the top bar. And like it does sometimes make sense for that to be your root because maybe every screen has like a top bar and things like that. But that's really not how mine is designed. So I guess I don't need my root to be a scaffold. I guess I could basically do it like this. Um, but the reason, and the other reason I was giving this a background color, so if you look at Figma here, So in the material theme builder, let's just zoom in on this. We have surface and background that are identical. And so for our app, this is fine. But in general, I don't think that this is the case. I don't think you can assume that surface and background are the same. And I think that like a dynamic theming, I don't think they're the same. Uh, although my my card list looks good. But so I was thinking that in general, because it's not like a surface, it's not like a card or like some elevated thing, that I should use a background color, which I guess I could still just do. I could do material theme dot color scheme dot background. And maybe this is the way to go. And I guess I could put this a level up, but now we'll put it here. Let's go with this. I think this makes sense. And then I don't have to worry about accidentally making that mistake again in the future. And I suppose if I do need, for any reason, to apply a specific style to that screen, I can wrap it in another surface or something else. Like that's the beauty of Compose, right? Um, okay, so surface to main activity. Um, okay, and we can make this pull request for saying we were able to support navigating to the add task activity. Um, or not activity, add task screen. From task list screen to add task screen when the fab is clicked. Labels, we'll call this one enhancement. This will go in the task management. Link it to the issue just so we have it. Awesome. Okay, so we've got, whoops. So we've got navigating to this screen. Um, the next part of this is actually like manipulating this input. So I kind of want to. Do we want to dive right into the date picker, or do we want to handle the other stuff? Um, what do y'all think? I think showing the date picker would be cool.